Yeah, baby, it's sequel time, mother. A while ago, I made a video called the top 3 worst places to live in all of comics, and that was a little bit of a, how do I put this? A lie. But what can I say? I got a brand image to keep up, and lying is part of that.
Stop fucking lying.
So I've assembled a group of comic book worlds which I think may actually be the worst places to live in. Matter of fact, existing in these worlds is pretty much the only thing you can do because, let's face it, being in any of these places is not exactly living.
Robin?
So, without further ado, strap into your seats, put down the lotion, and pull up your pants because we are about to go over the worst, and I mean worst, places to live in all of comics. Let's get into it.
Judges.
The world of DREDD, or as I like to call it, the horrible baby that Gotham and good old Fallout New Vegas had, is a nightmarish post-apocalyptic nuclear hellscape. You have to keep in mind that everything westward of your entire way of life is filled to the brim with radiation that is not contained and slowly seeping into your areas of living and giving you cancer. Not ideal, but hey, don't worry, you won't have to suffer long because before the cancer gets you, one of the hundreds of thousands, if not millions of criminals within the city will get you because this place is home to over 400 million people, which makes the condition cramped. Dense. You can barely move without bumping into someone who smells like 10 pounds of bounce that ass with a side of hell no. I mean, absolutely abhorrent. In order to police all of this crime, there is an organization known as the Judges. The most important of all the judges is our titular title character, DREDD, or as I like to call him, DREDD not right in the head, because this man is not a fan of people who break the law. He lives, eats, breathes, and sleeps criminal punishment. There's also the Dark Judges, a group of primordial alien-like beings whose physical forms resemble the judges themselves. However, the only crime they are judging you for is the crime of currently breathing.
Look at that, I just catch you having fun.
The most sadistic of all of them being Judge Death, an immortal bastard skelly who has the ability to phase his hand through your body and rip out your heart, as well as telepathically control you. Yet, with all of that said, I would still rather live in the world of DREDD than the world of... Imagine if we lived in a world where superheroes are just mass-produced by some kind of corporation for mass media consumption. Oh man, that would suck, wouldn't it? In the world of the boys, there is a corporation known as Vought, who might as well just be codenamed Disney because they rule everything. All the way from news and media outlets to merchandising and theme parks, they create superheroes. Essentially, they go around the world to different families and offer them a substantial sum of cash in order to inject their little babies with a substance known as Compound V, which will cause their baby to be born with some random superpower. Usually, Vought will take these superpowered little individuals and have them be their sort of celebrities, their superhero that they go out and they do little appearances, wave at the camera, kiss babies, the whole 9 yards. But sometimes the babies are also born with horrible powers. There is one of my favorite characters in the comic. His name is Love Sauce. He is not exactly your typical glizzy enthusiast, as that name would suggest. He has the power to use his, what is the most family-friendly, non-demonetized way I can say this? His ding-a-ling does a thing, and he does it very well. Now, hypothetically, for the sake of the argument, let's say that your not-so-slim Jim isn't a prehensile monstrosity. You have the ability to possibly even go on to the 7 and be one of Vought's premier superheroes. But the main thing we want to focus on relating to the 7 is the fact that Vought covers up every single thing that their superheroes do.
It's a conspiracy, man!
They're all just clout-chasing influencers with superpowers. It would be the worst I can imagine. Think of all the Minecraft YouTubers that are out there frequenting playgrounds. You wouldn't know shit about it. Not to mention the fact that they would be out here snatching up little Tommies and Tinas at Mach 5 speed. And on top of this, the 7 is home to the worst of the worst, the star-spangled bastard himself, Homelander. This absolute narcissistic psychopath is what would happen if Superman was a narcissistic eugenicist.
I'm stronger. I'm smarter. I'm better.
And it gets to the point where in the comic, he even starts a goddamn fucking civil war. It's not so civil when we just have tanks, bombs, and guns, and they have the ability to
Do whatever the fuck I want.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Now you've seen Power Rangers, right? If you haven't, I'm just gonna assume you look like this. It's the story of a group of teens with attitude who band together and become Mighty Morphin Rangers to fight the forces of the evil. Now a staple with this and a lot of other Sentai-like properties is that they grow to an enormous size in some sort of mecha-like robot, and they fight the horrible kaiju monsters. But there's these little things at their feet, buildings, and buildings, usually, statistically speaking, will contain people. If you hadn't noticed, you are people. And these large things stomping around are prone to crushing you. We're here to talk about the Ultramega. See, in Ultramega, this little wander over yonder looking motherfucker proceeded to go around the world to 3 people and told them,
Billy, how would you like superpowers?
The thing is, though, even though these Ultramegas are blessed with the ability to turn into gigantic versions of themselves with incredible laser powers, strength, speed, stamina, the whole 9 yards, they are, at the end of the day, entirely flesh and bone. That just means they are fluid and meat, grown to large proportions. In the first issue while they're fighting the Kaiju King. The green and red Megas fall, leaving only Purple, who swiftly has his arm ripped off and his head detached from his body, leaving all of his delicious Hawaiian punch contained within his veins to have to go somewhere. And it proceeds to flood the denizens of the city. All of these people are washed away within a river of blood. I'm talking thousands upon thousands of gallons released from this man. Now, it's not that bad, you're probably thinking. I'm a big boy. I'm a big, strong man. I'm Michael Phelps in this motherfucker. I would just swim to safety.
Shut your bitch ass up!
Let me break this down for you here, pimpin'. You're not fucking Aquaman. Blood, as opposed to water, which evaporates as it dries and turns into condensation and so on and so forth, becomes harder. Bad enough to where it encases you in a rock-like tube that you are unable to peel your way out of, meaning millions upon thousands of God even knows how many people in this city were washed away in a river of blood, and those who managed to survive couldn't get away because the blood started to harden and dry and suffocate them in a rocky tomb.
But wait, there's more.
Several years after this city-shattering disaster, the Kaijus have been reduced to tiny little versions of themselves because the Megas aren't around to activate their powers, and society is two warring factions. The Megas, then there's the Kaiju clan. Now, the moment that an Ultramega regains its power, the feud starts back up over again. And that is the last and final. What does that sound? What is that? What is that? Fuck.